Hello everyone, and welcome to this Yoga for Flexibility. Welcome to my home. This is Jasper and Lucy. My name's Julia, and this is my yoga and meditation channel. This is going to be a flexibility flow to build up flexibility, helping to lengthen out and stretch the muscles in a safe and effective way. Now, all our bodies are different. If you do this sequence regularly, you will notice that you have a big difference, just incrementally every day. Now, you might like to use a strap. You can do this sequence without it, but it does help with quite a few of the poses. This is just a belt. You could use any old belt. It doesn't have to be a proper yoga strap. They're just something to hold on to that's preferably not stretchy. So not a flexibility band for this particular workout. If you haven't already done so, you might like to also subscribe to my channel. I come out with videos every week with yoga or meditation. I'm very happy for any suggestions that you might have as well for things that you'd like me to make videos on. So please do let me know, comment in the comments below, subscribe by clicking the little subscribe button, and then you'll hear whenever I come out with my new videos. If you're new to yoga or if you've been doing it a long time, please do remember, always listen to your body, which means paying attention to when a stretch is a good stretch, as in that you can really feel it. It can be quite intense even, but never to the point that you feel pain. If anything starts to feel painful, then just back off a little bit from the pose, and you want to be just finding what in yoga they call your edge, which is that edge between what is not enough and what is too much. That's where all the magic works. That's where the flexibility starts. Now, after this or any other yoga class, it's a good idea to spend a few moments in relaxation or meditation. And on my channel, you'll find I've got quite a lot of 5 to 10 minute meditations. You don't need any special knowledge for these. These are just guided relaxations. So if you want to, you can always pause this video, go and line up one of those that takes your fancy, anyone, and then after this workout, you might like to enjoy that. Otherwise, just spend a few moments relaxing on a chair or lying down on the floor, just to settle yourself down and prepare your mind for the day or the evening ahead. So I hope you enjoy this class. We're going to start off standing up. Now, you won't need the strap for a little while, so I'm just going to put mine down here for a moment. So start off in mountain pose, press the feet into the mat. Mountain pose is basically standing in great posture. So if you imagine the feet pushing down, the crown of the head reaching up. The legs, the muscles are slightly wrapped around in an external motion. The tailbone is tucked under. Hold the tummy in firmly, but lengthened up. So the chest is just slightly lifted, not sticking out, but just lifted up. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Now press the fingertips down towards the mat. Lift up through the crown of the head without lifting the chin. So you're nice and long, and feel the breath that even with the tummy held in, you can take nice deep breaths in and out. A lot of people don't realise, and I didn't used to, that the rib cage actually moves. So it's moving out as you inhale and in as you exhale. So just become conscious of that movement for a moment. Nice deep breaths. Try and keep the breathing through the nose through the whole class if you can. And then we're going to do some arm reaches. So reach up overhead and then stretch up one arm and the other. So you're reaching all the way from the waist. Feel the separation in the rib cage. Feel the stretch in the sides of the body as you reach. And then reach both arms up. Now take your left hand down. I do the opposite. So it's a bit like looking in a mirror. Reach up and then lean over to your left. Your hip can go a little bit out to the right. Keep stretching. Reach down the leg as far as feels comfortable. And then bring both arms up overhead. Inhale, reach up with both arms. And as you exhale, take your right arm down. Stretch even higher with the left arm. And on the next exhale, lean over. Keep breathing, stretching gently into the pose. Just take it to where it feels good and hold it there. And then reach both arms up overhead and open the elbows out, lifting the chest. Let your head drop back as far as comfortable for a fallen angel pose. This really opens up the chest and the shoulders stretching the upper body and a little bit of a back bend. Again, reach up overhead, inhale here, and exhale down to that wonderful pose, opening the heart towards the ceiling. Again, one more time, reaching up, inhale, and exhale, take it back and hold it here. And then we're going to come into a forward fold. So hinging from the waist, come to a flat back first, and then let yourself round down. Hold onto your elbows. Have your knees slightly bent. You might like to straighten one at a time. Let your head relax completely. And then if it feels right for you, straighten both the knees. Otherwise, just keep a slight bend in them. Just hanging down. You can move your head back and forth a couple of times. Stretching it out, letting it lengthen down. Gravity doing a good job to lengthen out the spine and the neck, increasing that flexibility very gently. And from here we're going to go into downward facing dog. So bring your hands to the floor, walk your legs back, have them about hips width apart, press the heels down one at a time towards the mat. So the tummy stays in nice and firmly. Push the mat away with your fingertips. And then if you can, press both heels towards the mat. So you're really pushing back as if you were trying to shut a door behind you with your bottom. Long arms, long legs. Bring your weight onto your right leg now and stretch the left leg up towards the ceiling, letting the hip rotate, open up, toes point towards the ceiling, and then flex the foot, push out through the heel, through the sole of the foot. Again, point it and lower that leg down. Lovely stretch, bringing the weight onto your left leg now. Take that right leg up and stretch that long. Working on that flexibility, opening up the hip, point the toes, and then flex the foot. So press out, getting that leg as straight as possible. Straight legs, straight arms, pressing the fingers into the mat. Point the toes again, and then ease back again into that downward facing dog. Stretching out the whole back. This is a great pose. If it's one pose that you learn in yoga, this might be the one. And then ease yourself down onto your knees, and we're going to come up into a variation of the camel pose. So have your hands onto your waist, just push the hips forwards, lift up the head, squeeze the shoulder blades, and let yourself drop into whatever works for you, camel pose. So stay here in this variation if that feels enough. If you want to come into the full camel pose, bend your ankles, reach back, grab hold of the heels, push yourself forward, let the head drop back, squeezing the shoulder blades. If you still find this a bit easy, want to take it further, bring your feet flat. Now you've got a little bit further to reach back. So go back again, one hand at a time, hips push forward, let your head drop back just as much as is comfortable. If this bothers your neck, just don't drop it all the way back. And when you're ready to come up one hand at a time, come down onto hands and knees and round the spine into a cat curl, pressing that belly button up towards the ceiling. And then on the next inhale, come into a wolf pose, stretching the spine the other way. Exhale, cat. And inhale, wolf. And then we're going to come down onto our tummies. So ease your way down. And then hands underneath the shoulders, press up into a cobra or a baby cobra. So if you come up here and that's enough, that's fine. If you can come higher, listen to your body. See how high you can come without the hips coming up off the mat. Squeeze the shoulders back and down and lift up through the chest. Look up so you get a lovely stretch underneath the neck as well. And then we're going to come into the seal pose. So you take your hands out to the sides, the fingers face outwards, and then we're just going to relax into this. So whereas in Cobra I was pressing into it and the shoulders were down, this time just let your shoulders flop up around your ears and relax every muscle. Breathe and let go. Just relaxing into this pose. It's a very good one for flexibility of the spine. Stay here. Breathe into it. And you'll feel that quite intense stretch on the lower back. So this is a yin yoga pose. We just relax into it. And it's held a little bit longer than the more traditional yang style yoga poses. We're going to ease back into child's pose now. So release yourself from the pose, hands underneath the shoulders, and slowly take your hips back towards the heels. If they get onto the heels, that's great. Walk your hands out in front, your head rests down, and lengthen out through the whole body. So this is a great stretch as well. Because our legs are tucked underneath us, this really lengthens and stretches out, especially the lower back. And by reaching our arms out in front, we're stretching out the shoulders and the arms. And you can close your eyes here if you like, just to relax into it. Walk your hands back again, and again ease yourself back down onto your tummy. Have your legs a little bit apart, bend your knees, and see if you can reach around and grab hold of your feet or your ankles. Then lift through the head and chest and see if you can send those feet up as high as you can towards the ceiling. If you can't grab your feet, you can just have your hands by your sides and push the legs up as high as they'll go. So this is the bow pose, upward facing bow. And then release gently out of the pose. Press yourself again back into child's pose. Hips back to rest on the heels if you can. Arms reach out in front, stretch long, and take a breath here. Nice. And then lift your head, walk your hands around to one side into a lovely stretch. Take the hips a tiny bit over the other way. It's a great side stretch. Just relax into it. And then walk yourself around the other way. Again, the hip goes in the opposite direction. So if you're walking around to the left, the hips go a little bit to the right and vice versa. Breathe into the pose. And walk yourself again back to that child pose in the center. The head relaxes down. Ease yourself up, back onto your knees. Take your left leg forward now and come into a lovely lunge. So make sure that you've got a nice wide stance here so that when you lunge forward, your knee is over your ankle but not over your toes. So if it is, take the stance a little bit wider. Lovely lunge, tuck that tailbone under, and you should feel the stretch right up the quadriceps here. Just let your hands rest on the front thigh. Stretch forward, lift up with the chest, and breathe. And then take that leg back, toes up towards the ceiling. Just pull back with the hip and you'll feel stretch all the way up this leg. Come forwards again. Walk your hands up onto that front thigh if you like. And then again, take it back, stretching out. So I'm pulling my hip back, lifting the toes towards the ceiling, and it feels as if there were a piece of string all the way from the heel all the way up to the hip here. And release, and we'll do the other leg. So take your right leg forward again, nice wide stance, and lunge into it until you feel that again, that stretch this time down the left quadricep, having the hip tucked under slightly. Lean into it, lift the chest, and breathe here, enjoying that stretch. Sometimes called the runner's stretch. And then hands on the floor, take the hips back, toes come up towards the ceiling. Get this leg as straight as you can, as straight as it wants to go. Pull back gently, and again it's that feeling as if there were a cord from the heel right up to the hip, stretching it long, but just like a rubber band. Stretch it nice and tightly, but you don't want to overdo it and snap it. Again, come forwards. If you can, walk your hands onto the front of your thighs, stretch into it. Enjoy that feeling. Breathe. And again, take it back. Toes up. Pull back with the hips. And breathe. And then release yourself from this pose. Come around to face the front, hands on the floor, and walk your legs out. And then you can have your knees bent to start, and then start to take your legs out as wide as you can get them. Walk your hands back. I like to have my fingers facing backwards for this pose, but you can have them forward or sideways, whatever works for you. And start to take the legs out as wide as you can get them. You want to press into the mat so you don't accidentally go too far. Do a nice grip. Find where you get that inner thigh stretch and hold it. Take the hips back about an inch and see how that really affects the feeling of the stretch. Breathe into it, hold it here. So we're teaching our bodies to trust us, that we're not going to go too far, but we're teaching it also to go to its limits, taking it to the edges of our flexibility to just increase the boundaries very gently and slowly. So walk your legs in, bend the knees, and bring yourself all the way down to sitting. Well done. We're going to do a few twists now. So if you have your legs out in front of you, bring the left leg over the top of the right leg, around knee level, if you can. Otherwise you can have it on this side of the leg. So sit up nice and tall, left hand behind, and bring your right hand across onto the knee or your elbow if that feels right. Some people like to do it this way as well. So whatever works for you, sit up with a nice tall spine, and on your next exhale, press into the twist, looking back, bringing out the spine. So the leg along the floor is nice and straight. You can flex the foot, press out through the heel, and push into the twist. And don't forget to breathe. And then keep your body in the twist and bring your head around to look out over that front shoulder. And that's a really lovely neck stretch. It's where we hold a lot of tension and we can be quite tight, so it's good to work on this neck flexibility as well. So let's release that and do the other side. So you want to bring your right foot over the left leg this time, and your left hand comes across onto the knee, or you can bring your arm across, or you can bring it this way if that works better for you. Other hand behind, sit yourself up tall, and as you exhale, press into the twist, looking back. Keep breathing, keep pressing into this lovely twist, taking our bodies through their full range of motion. And then keep your body in the twist and look over that front shoulder. So you can press that lower leg out nice and straight, push out through the sole of the foot. Keep lengthening the spine and enjoying that lovely feeling of stretch. And release that. We're going to come into the cobbler's pose now. So bring the feet together. You can have them close to you or a little further away, whatever works for you. Sit up nice and tall, hold on to the inside of your feet and press the knees out towards the floor. Now you don't want to be bouncing your knees up and down because you can just accidentally go a little bit too far and injure yourself. So you just want to be very gently using your leg strength to press the knees down. Some people's knees just naturally flop to the floor, some people's are up here. It just depends on your ability, your flexibility. You can have couch potatoes who sit around watching television all day and they can be very flexible, and you can get sports people who are very stiff. So don't judge yourself. Everybody's body is different. So respect your own. It's the only one you have. So lift up through the chest now, straight spine, and then either walk your hands out in front or grab hold of your feet and pull your spine nice and long, and then let your head just round down. You don't want to be forcing your head down towards your feet because you could injure the back of your neck. So you can have a nice pulling and quite strong pull on the back, but then just let your head relax. You can close your eyes here if that feels nice, and take a couple of breaths, still pressing the knees out towards the floor as you lengthen forward with the spine. And ease up from that. Now bring your left leg in front of you and the right leg can come here into a very gentle hips opener. If you're more flexible, you might like to bring this leg up, but listen to your body. If you have bad knees, you want to keep that other foot on the floor. If you're more flexible, you could bring it up. So it's not into a half lotus up here, but you've got knees to ankles, ankles to knees. Set yourself up nice and straight and walk yourself out. And you might get about 1 inch and think, okay, that's enough, then that's your place today. You might get all the way flat down onto the floor. And again, listen to the body, find what's right for you and what's right for you today. It could be different to another day. So just relax yourself into it, breathe. You should feel an intense stretch in the hips, especially the right hip, which is the leg on top, but maybe also in the other one. And then ease yourself up very slowly, release the legs. You might want to give them a little bit of a shake out, and then we'll do the other side. So your right leg down and the left leg comes in front this time. Again, if you want to take it further, you might like to bring this foot up. Listen to the body. If it's too much, just keep that leg down here. You don't want to be hurting your knee, putting anything out of joint. Stretch up now with your spine and walk yourself out. Maybe 1 inch, maybe flat on the floor. Remember, if it's too much at any point, just bring this leg down here. So let yourself relax down. Head completely relaxes and enjoy that quite intense hip stretch. And again, walk yourself up, release the legs, maybe give them a little bit of a shake out and stretch out. Right, we're going to use that strap now. So if you take hold of it, bring it in your left hand and throw the strap over the shoulder, reach behind with your other hand and walk your hands together as close as you can get them. Now if you're very flexible, you might be able to hold one hand with the other. Otherwise, just have the strap as close as possible. Press the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and enjoy the stretch. And release. Give the shoulders a little bit of a shake out, and we'll do the other side. So bringing the strap into your right hand, throw it over the shoulder and reach behind with your left hand. Walk the hands together as close as together they can get. Maybe your fingers can interlink. If so, you might not even need the strap. And then squeeze the shoulder blades, press the elbows back towards each other, and breathe into it. And release. Again, give the shoulders a little bit of a roll out, one way and the other. Well done. Right, if you come around now to sitting, sit yourself up nice and tall so you're rolling the hips forward. If you sit like this, you're never going to get anywhere with the pose. So you want to be really rolling the hips forward. The secret in the forward fold is all coming from this area, the hips here. So bring the strap now around your feet. Lengthen up through the chest as you inhale, and as you exhale, come forward. Feel as if you're going to bring your chest right onto your feet. So stretch long wherever you get to. If you're up here and that's your flexibility, that's completely fine. So listen to your body wherever you get to, then just let your head round over. So again, we don't want to be forcing or pulling the back of our necks. All the stretching can be done on our backs, with our arms and the back of our legs, and we can be quite strong without taking it to the point of pain, but we don't want to be forcing or pulling or risking damaging our necks. So stretching forwards, and then as you exhale, let yourself round over. The knees are straight, the legs are straight. There's a very natural slight bend here, so I'm not pushing the back of the knees down into the mat, but I'm not bending the knees either, so they're just sort of naturally straight. Breathe into it as much as you can. It's quite tricky to breathe into this pose. If you're quite flexible, you might just like to hold on to your feet, and then you don't need the strap. And then when you're ready, ease yourself up very gently from the pose, and we're going to come over onto our backs. So lie yourself back down, slowly bring the knees up, hug them into your chest, and let yourself very gently rock side to side. And then let your left foot come to the floor. Take the strap around your right foot. You can have the strap longer or shorter depending on your flexibility. Straighten that leg out as much as you can. So your leg might not come so high up, in which case you'd have a longer strap. And then see if you can slowly straighten out that left leg along the floor. So you're pushing up through the heel, the top foot, bringing the toes down gently towards you with a strap. Breathe into it. So we're holding this pose, just working on the flexibility of the leg. And then take the strap in both sides of the strap with your right hand. Open up the left hand at shoulder level, and trying to keep the weight on the left side of your body, slowly open that leg out to the side. So if that leg isn't totally straight and the strap is longer, that's fine. Take it out as far as you can. Try not to tip, so keep the weight consciously on the left side, and look over towards your left hand and breathe here. And then slowly take that leg up and swap the strap over to the other side. Take your right hand out just below shoulder level and take the leg slowly over to the left as far as it'll go. So this time the hip can come off the floor, and if that leg comes all the way down to the floor on the other side, that's fine. Of course, if it comes halfway or as far as it goes, that's also fine. Don't forget, just listen to the body, breathe into it, and then slowly take that leg back up towards the ceiling and release. Hug that knee into the chest. Take your right foot to the floor, and then take the strap and catch it around your left leg and stretch that leg up towards the ceiling as high as it'll go. So pushing up through the heel, toes come towards you, press and feel the leg stretching all the way up the length of the leg. Again, the strap can be longer or shorter depending on your flexibility. Breathe, and then slowly stretch your right leg out along the floor. And breathe into this pose, holding it, feeling that lovely sensation of stretch, which can be quite intense. And now hold both sides of the strap with your left hand. Bring your right hand out just below shoulder level and open the leg out to the side. So take it over as far as feels comfortable and hold it. Breathe into it. And slowly take that leg back up again. Hold the strap with your other hand now. Take your left arm out just below shoulder level, and then take that leg over to the right. That hip can come off the floor if it wants to, and take the leg over as far as you can. If it goes all the way to the floor, great. Otherwise, wherever you get to, look over towards your left hand and breathe, enjoying this lovely spinal twist and leg stretch. Take that leg back up all the way towards the ceiling. Hold the strap with both hands, pushing up through the heel, and then release. Hug that knee into the chest. Well done. And then take the other knee up, so you got both knees hugging in. Let yourself gently rock side to side. And then stretch your legs out long and your arms above your body, lengthening out. Stretch, inhale here, and exhale, relax. One more time, stretch long, inhale, And exhale, relax. Well done, you've done the whole class. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said earlier, you might like to do one of my guided meditations now to relax and refresh the mind and feel great. Anyway, I hope to see you again soon in one of my other videos. Please do comment in the section below and give me a thumbs up, I hope. Let me know anything else you'd like to see and watch out for my new videos. See you soon. Bye for now.